sacrifice today so that you can gain some volume financially. See, and when you gain that volume, you will be able to do more with less. Of course, in proportion to what you have. Today, we are discussing how to survive the month of January. Usually, when it's January time, people are always like, January is the longest month, and they don't know how they will survive the month because January goes too slow and all of those stuffs. And obviously, the reason why it looked like January is the longest month is because most of the time, many people are broke in January. And that is also because, during December or during the end of the year, it's time for a lot of parties, a lot of celebrations, and all of those stuffs. So many indulge fully in all of these activities. Then in January they are broke. Then when they have no money, January is long. It's taking forever to come. All right, but here is the deal. I think something is not right for somebody to work so hard, maybe from January to October, for instance, and save money for the whole 10 months or 9 months or 8 months, as the case may be. You save all this money just to spend all of them in a couple of weeks in December. And then when the new January comes, you start all over again. I think something is wrong with your formula. If that's the way you've lived, something is definitely seriously wrong with that formula. You see, because it means is that your life is in a loop. You keep going around the same orbit every year. Every January you complain, and then you gain momentum, or you start movement in February, March you gain momentum, you move all the way to October, and then in December you spend everything, and then you start again. That formula will keep you poor because it's already obvious that um, I don't want to say that you are poor, but I don't want to say that, but it's already obvious that you're not doing well financially. See, such formula will keep you grounded, as far as finances is concerned. So, like I've said in a couple of our videos in the past, that when it comes to some of these things, you know, the only way to eventually get it right financially is to rebel against yourself. You rebel against your norm, against your personal uh, program, like in this case, personal program. Because the truth is this: most people do celebration in December because that's when most people have holidays, right? And also that's why when those who want to do celebration know that they can gather most of their loved ones together. See, but that does not mean that you should attend every celebration. You see, somebody say, "Well, I've worked so hard throughout the year, so it's time for me to enjoy." Yes, you can enjoy, but enjoy with the future in mind. You see, my 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 major point of discourse usually is that why why try to enjoy with the little you have and put yourself in pressure in the future? Why don't you rather sacrifice today, so that when you start enjoying, you will enjoy for the rest of your life or for all of your life? You see, because you always have to enjoy. See, I gave some people the example. I said this is one of the reasons why it's very important to work hard to become a millionaire. Of course, let me start from you know a millionaire, for example, in rands, because I can't use naira now. A million naira is yeah, I won't say useless, but yeah, something like that. So and I said just try at least to get 1 million rands or $1 million any currency that you can get into to become a millionaire, apart from the weaker ones. you know I said, try it. What that does is it amplify your life in a way that you never have imagined. And as I take for example, if you only have $50,000 or 50,000 rand, for instance, and you want to, let's say you want to do something for someone, if you use 5,000 to do something for the person will appreciate it, of course. Of course, some people will appreciate it, and you also feel like you did something real good for the person. But the impact on you will be felt as well, because a 5,000 from a 50,000 is 10% of the money, and it will shake up your finances a little bit. And I said, but imagine that you have a million rands, or 1 point something million rands, and you decide to use, now this time around, not 5,000, you decide to use 50,000, which is like 5% of your million rand. You use 50,000 to do something for the same person. That's it. You see, the impact that you are going to make in that person's life will be very, very much. You see, the person is going to feel the impact of whatever it is you did for him. But look at it on the other hand, even though what you did now is less than what you will have done when you have 50,000, the impact is more. And you felt you probably won't feel much or feel anything any different from your resources. And as a matter of fact, even if you leave that money, even in the bank or something, the money will grow back. That 50,000 you spend will go back, will come back without you needing to do anything else. The money will grow back on its own. That's why you see, even assuming you didn't give that 50,000 to this one person, you decide to use 10,000 to inflame or to impact 5 people. That 10,000 rands will still do more for these 5 people, and you will have impact them in such a way that they will take a long time to recover from, and yet you feel nothing doing it. And I said, this is the power of having a lot of money. You see, so if you decide, okay, I want to enjoy my life, with the 50,000 rands, you can eat virtually in almost all the restaurants in town. You can afford to eat some of the finest food. You know, you can afford to do one or two things. If you want to go shopping and you have 50,000 to spend, that's a lot of shopping. You buy a lot of good stuff. You see, and yet when you've bought all these things, like I said, you don't even need to do anything. Even leaving the money in the bank with maybe a 7% or a 6% return, on your savings, something like that, the money will grow back. You see, so that's why that's my the premise from where I think when it comes to building wealth. And I said, sacrifice today so that you can gain some volume financially. You see, and when you gain that volume, you will be able to do more with less. Of course, in proportion to what you have, you'll be able to do more. And yet, when you do this much, you are not under any form of pressure or duress. See, the person I gave 50K is so happy, like, oh my goodness, he gave me 50,000 rands. That's a lot of money. He's a good man. But me that I gave the 50,000, I didn't really feel anything. See, and I also know that without doing anything, if I leave my million something in about maybe 5 to 6 months, the money will have grown back. You see, so the dream and the vision to become wealthy, in my own opinion, is a worldwide goal. It's a worldwide dream. If you have a family, you'll be able to give your children a quality life. My I'm advocating for real wealth, real success, not pretentious wealth, not fake wealth. Like so many people have. They have a lot of symbols of riches, but they are not rich. See, I've said many times, I will not exchange having cash for owning a Range Rover, for instance, or for owning the Rolls Royce. If I have an option, for instance, somebody give me an option. So see, I have two options for you. You take a Rolls Royce that maybe is worth about maybe 5 million rands, or you take 2.5 million rand cash. Which will you choose? My choice is easy. Give me the cash, keep the Rolls Royce. Yeah, because if I take the Rolls Royce, I am going to look rich to people. I'm going to appear rich to people. But if the Rolls Royce have a problem, the people who see me as wealthy will not know what pressure I have to go through to fix the car. See, so that's the point. Don't be so excited about today that you don't know that you can be a very free man financially. A very free man, free to be a good person if you are good. You can be free to change life, to impact even your own self, free to have a lot of fun rather. So plan this year the places you used to go that burn all your money. Maybe this year you can change, go to a place that's a bit cheaper. So at least in January you have money to run through the months. You know, I found out that when you have money to do things, days goes faster, week goes faster, month goes faster. When you are broke, everything is slow. I think money gives speed to even time, you know, because with money you are engaged, you have places to go, you have things to do, so you are busy. And once you are busy, time seems to go faster. But when you don't have money, you're broke, you are not busy because you can't do, there's much you can do. You are just sitting there waiting. So everything becomes slow. And I think one of the things about time is that the moment you become conscious of time, it goes slower, especially when you are expecting something. But when you have a target to meet and you have something to do, you have a deadline to meet, once you become conscious of time, it goes faster. It's not the time, it is our mind. It's our mind. So plan, plan. This December, plan. You are not going to misbehave. You see, in one of our videos, I make mention that somebody said one day I'll become a success. I'll become successful, and I said that statement is so false. You will never become successful. But no, the future is bright. And I said the bright future that you cannot see today doesn't exist. If your future is bright, it means now your today is bright. If you're going to be a success, it means you are now a success. You see, and I said success, as much as people say, it's not a target, actually. It's not a target that you're going to hit someday. You are now beginning to succeed today. With every decision, with every dollar, with every time or second or every opportunity you have, you are making yourself successful or you are failing. So plan, and your January will be wonderful. Yeah, it will be wonderful. You can get to a state where um your prayer actually for money will not be necessary. It will not happen by accident. You plan for it to happen, and it happens. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.